Dex.
During the meanwhilest... No.
Well, hello, it's Dexter and me with yet another enthralling Tech Tuesday. Anyway, today's video is all about my, well, nearly new now, Fujifilm X-T5, and in particular, its relationship with the 10-24 wide angles lens, my standard, if you like, go-to landscape combination. Excuse the noise in the background. We just got back from our local patch of woodland. We went down to put some new fat balls and some peanuts down there for the birds, because there's a bit of a cold snap expected over the next few days, and Dexter is now covered in mud and horse poo and God knows what, so much to his dislike and chagrin, he is in the bath and he doesn't like that at all. But so if you hear any strange noises, it's him being showered down. Anyway, before I bought my X-T5, I was a little bit concerned at the 10-24's absence from Fujifilm's list of lenses that were optimized for the new 40 megapixel sensor. But then I thought, you know what, nah, the lenses has performed superbly on every single Fujifilm camera that I shot it on, and I put my concerns all to one side and bought the X-T5. But then the criticisms started to surface, particularly on YouTube, where reviewers were effectively saying that this camera is rubbish. The claims of the extra resolution are bogus, and in particular, if you shoot it with any of the lenses that aren't on Fujifilm's optimized list, you're wasting your time, and they're going to be, in particular the 10-24, they're going to be low resolution, muddy, out of focus garbage. So I started to get a little bit concerned. Were these claims justified? Is the camera and lens combo really that bad? And are the reviewers right? Now, right, I'm no Fujifilm fanboy, okay? I'm keen to hear any reviews, impartial reviews about any of Fujifilm's cameras or lenses that they make. But this criticism in particular seemed in stark contrast to my own findings with, you know, the 10-24 lens, and I figured that, you know, it's not all of a sudden going to become a bad lens overnight just because of the extra resolution of the new sensor. Anyway, fearing that I may be looking at things through rose-tinted spectacles, given that I know absolutely no pixel peeper and am more than happy with the 12 megapixels that my Nikon D700 produces, I revisited some of the early shots that I made with the X-T5 and the 10-24, and then deliberately set out to shoot some particularly challenging ones so I could test the lens and camera combination to its fullest. And now we will have, through the magic of the internet, we'll have a look at some of these images right now. Now, for clarity, if you'll pardon the pun, all of these are screen grabs, screen recordings of raw files, okay? There is no sharpening applied, no clarity, no processing at all. In fact, they've been imported straight into Lightroom with only Lightroom's default image sharpening applied. Anyway, looking at the images here in Lightroom, I really can't see any blurriness or muddiness at all, even in the extreme corners of the images. Okay, they're all shot at stop-down apertures of, you know, f9, but what I am seeing is more than acceptable levels of sharpness and resolution, and these really are the typical apertures that this lens would more than likely be shot at anyway. For the sake of fairness now, let's have a look at an image shot at f4, and again, even looking into the corners, it looks perfectly fine, perfectly fine to me. And at the opposite end of the scale, there's this image shot at f/22 where I was trying to get a sunstar. Now this is soft, even looking at it in Capture One's RAW converter, which handles Fuji X-Trans sensor RAW files much better than Lightroom. It is soft, but to be honest, I would expect a degree of softness at such a narrow aperture anyway. Now, I'm not saying that any of these reviews are disingenuous, right? I mean, the reviewers have said what they've seen, but it's easy for somebody who may have only spent perhaps a day or two with the camera, or certainly a limited amount of time with the camera, to repeat what they might have heard from a previous review, and then the whole thing then snowballs into the raft of criticisms that we see today. Now, I'm not saying that is the case, but there may be something in that. And it's also possible that those early reviews were made with cameras with pre-production firmware, because what I am seeing with my own, admittedly 59-year-old eyes, is the complete opposite of those other reviews. I'm more than happy with the resolution, sharpness and clarity that the camera and lens produce, and I would have zero qualms recommending both or either to any prospective buyer. Now, don't believe me? Well, I will put up a montage of images at the end of the video that you can have a look at your own pace and at your own leisure. Now, these are going to be lightly processed and converted to JPEG, obviously, for upload to YouTube. But I've deliberately not added any sharpening or clarity to any areas of the images at all. So, pretty well what you see is what I saw in the RAW files that I shot. Now, Fujifilm, I think, may have made a bit of a mistake in releasing that list of optimized lenses, to be honest, because I think it gave people a negative baseline from which to start any review. So they were kind of looking at it with the mindset, if you like, that this camera and lens aren't made for each other and that the images are going to be rubbish. Now, I'm not saying that reviewers have deliberately set out to do that, but in the back of your mind, you're always going to be thinking, why have Fujifilm, said that you shouldn't shoot this lens with the X-T5, but why have they released this list of optimized lenses? All the Fujifilm lenses I've used on my X-T5 are sharp. They're sharp regardless of any camera I've shot them on, be that my XE1, my X-T2, 3, 4 or 5. What I would say is, don't let Fujifilm's list put you off buying an X-T5 or make you think that any lenses that aren't on that list are somehow inferior. They're not, okay? And I think that the images I put up at the end of this video will more than prove that. Anyway, that is it for this episode of Tech Tuesday. Dexter and I will be back on Saturday with yet another of our little nature rambles, where I go out in search of the tree creeper that I saw in last Saturday's video. Do I find the tree creeper? Well, you'll have to watch the video. To find out. I don't. Okay. Until Saturday, then. Stay safe, stay well, look after yourselves, your loved ones, and your little pets, and any tree creepers you might find. And in these times of freezing cold weather, if you can, put some food out for our little feathered friends, because they're going to be struggling to eat in this weather. Don't put bread out for them, though. That's no good for them. That just rests heavily on their stomach. So and you're more than like these are rats, to be honest, coming and and feasting on that than birds are. So put out some sunflower hearts, some seeds, some purpose-built, some proper bird food. Fat balls are a good source of energy for them at this time of year. Concentrated bits of fat, because that's what they need. They need to eat basically their own body weight every day, I think, just to survive. And in this weather, they need even more to keep them warm and safe. Right. So yeah, do that if you can. And in the meantime, just be nice, okay? Be a nice person. All right then, and we'll see you on Saturday. All the best.
Just teach me to despise. Will time make man more wise? Here, within my lower frame, my eyes just hurt my brain. But will it seem the same? Come tomorrow, will I be older? Come tomorrow, maybe a soldier. Come tomorrow, may I be bolder than today. Oh, the trees are almost green, but will they still be seen when time and tide have been? Falling to your passing hands, please don't destroy the